Sunday school teacher, thank you for joining us for our time of study and preparation. We're working on the lesson for Sunday, January 5th, first Sunday of the new year, so Happy New Year. So January 5th, the title of the lesson is God Commissions. This is a wonderful lesson for us to think about preparing for the future. And so we're going to be in Numbers chapter 27, verses 12 through 23. And there, the point of this lesson, the thing that we want to walk out with, is that God's people must affirm and invest in reaching the next generation. We've got to affirm the next generation. We've got to invest the next generation. We've got to reach the next generation. That's what we're going to be focused on in this Bible study. This lesson emphasizes the importance of investing our lives wisely in the generations who will come after us. God's people must affirm and invest in the next generation of leaders. This study will focus on the commissioning of Joshua to succeed Moses as Israel's leader. Moses appealed to the Lord to provide a leader for the next generation, those who would enter into the promised land. In response to his prayer, the Lord commanded Moses to commission Joshua in sight of the entire Israelite community. By this procedure, what the Lord told Moses to do, by doing this, Moses conferred some of his authority on Joshua according to the Lord's directive. And so here we see God commissioning. So let's look at these verses. We're going to be in Numbers chapter 27. Get your Bible, get your outline, get your notes, get ready to follow along as we prepare. So 27, beginning in verse 12. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Go up to the mountain of Abiram, to the range, and see the land that I have given the Israelites. After you have seen it, you will also be gathered to your people as Aaron your brother was. When the community quarreled in the wilderness of Zin, both of you rebelled against my command to demonstrate my holiness in their sight, and the waters, those were the waters of Meribah Kadesh in the wilderness of Zin." So here we've got Moses facing death. In verse number 12, God directed Moses to ascend to Abiram. It's a mountain range to view the promised land. Now, was it a specific? Yes, there's a specific mountain. We don't know which one, but it was a specific mountain. So God said, go up to that mountain top and you're going to be able to see the promised land. Verse 13, that's what God said to Moses. He says, I'm going to allow you to view the promised land before you die. And in verse 14, there we see the Lord reminding Moses for the reason that he could not enter into Canaan. And again, that reason was his sin. The gravity of Moses' sin lay in his attempt to use God's power for his own glorification. Remember, he struck the rock twice instead of speaking to the rock. And remember, he says to the people, I can't believe I've got to do this for y'all. Moses' words robbed God of reverence that was due to him. And so that was the sin that kept Moses out of the promised land. So here we've got Moses facing death. And so verse 15, there we see Moses looking to the future. And Moses appealed to the Lord, "May the Lord, the God who gives breath to all, appoint a man over the community who will go out before them and come back before them, and who will bring them out and bring them in, so that the Lord's community won't be like sheep without a shepherd." So here we have Moses crying out to the Lord in verses 15 through 17 for God to give a